Whoa, chair was in a hole. Anybody watch this show before, you know I don't like wobbly chairs. Can't imagine anybody really likes wobbly chairs a lot. But I'm sitting outside right now on one of these, a patio, and we have, I don't know what they're called, slabs of slate or what have you, with about inch gaps between each slab. I'll give you a show. That's what we're looking at. And the leg of my chair, which is this metal chair, and I'll get to the rest of the details of why I'm outside and why I'm sitting on my patio and why it's such a beautiful day. Although the answer to that is Mother Nature blessed us with a beautiful day. Hello, Jack. How are you? But anyway, as I pushed live, the countdown began. I felt real confident. I was going to get talking. I was excited to be sitting outside on such a glorious day. And my chair went, the leg of my chair kind of buried into the mud between the slabs of slate. I did not feel comfortable. I was sitting askew. I would have had to talk to you all like this. Hello, Green Beans. Thank you for joining. Lori Jones, Carlos Quintana, and anybody else that hops on. I'm feeling so excited. I'm feeling so good. If I keep adjusting my chair, I might have one of those, wobbly issues again. I had a minor little belch. I'm sure it's not polite to belch on a live video. Hello, Frank MFT. Thank you for joining. What time is it? Oh, okay. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hello, Martha. Thank you so much for joining. Private account join. Martha's joining. We might build up an audience today. You guys all might be excited that I'm outside. It's a special February 1st edition. Hi, Irish fan. Again, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. Sometimes I forget. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not as sharp as I used to be. Sometimes there's some slippage above the neck, if you know what I'm saying. Hello, Sandman. Hello, Jim B. And hello, Fred Emmert. There's some slippage above the neck. But fortunately for me, I've got a sweatshirt that says Coffee with Ken and a mug that says Coffee with Ken. So no matter how much I'm forgetting where I'm at, who I am, and what I'm doing, I got lots of reminders. But again, good morning to you. It is February 1st. It is 11:43 a.m. And what day is it? It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. This is a show I have been doing for quite some time. And it is a show, we're coming up on 5 years. It'll be 5 years in June. And it's different and it changes. And I've moved it around. I've done it in public locations. I've done it in, I don't even know how many different homes. And I'll tell you what, if somebody can't even keep track of the number of homes they've lived in over the last 5 years, you know it's been a fun 5 years. But it was at a time when I was struggling. I started it at a time when I was struggling with a lot of things and not feeling good, and I was living in a dark apartment, and I had a bad inner voice, and I was missing the woman of my dreams and the house that I loved, and just had a lot of negative stuff going on. At the time, I was still drinking alcohol and smoking every day. What I didn't know at the time, again, I said it, my inner voice was very negative at the time. And I talk about that a lot. And I talk about the anxiety I've struggled with. And I talk about how talking on a live show started making me feel good, kind of like I was, I don't know, going to see a therapist, but it's the most public therapist in the world. But anyway, when I started my show, what I didn't realize is I was 2 months away from getting a DUI. So as bad as I thought things were, and I was an everyday drinker and smoker of as bad as I thought things were at the time. And this is a warning to anybody out there. This is a warning to anybody out there. Sometimes you think things are things are rough right now. I don't know, something went wrong with you. Need a new exhaust system on your car, or I don't know, you got a cold, or I don't know. They could. And my show tends to be very positive. I think I have a very positive show and a positive attitude and a belief in myself and a goodness in the world. A garbage truck just rumbled by. And hello, Julia Hypnotist. Thank you for joining. I watch a lot of your videos, Julia. If anyone wants to be hypnotized, I follow some good ones here on TikTok, and Julia just hopped on, and I don't know. I relax to a lot of her hypnotic videos, so follow her as well. Hello, Josh Hogrand. Hello, Chip. Hello, New York Steve. Hello, Terry. Hello, Mitch Ray and Buttercup. Thank you so much for following the live creator, Buttercup. I so appreciate that. I've been on TikTok. It was about 2 years ago around Thanksgiving. And again, I was doing a lot of videos on different social media platforms, and a buddy and his wife and his daughter were watching one. And at the time I was talking about the struggles I had with drinking, and how I was using alcohol as a crutch to deal with the stress that I was facing on a day-by-day basis. And it was the only thing I found that kind of took that pain away and took that anxiety away. But it didn't really take it away. What it did is it numbed the pain and made me feel silly and goofy until I woke up at 2 a.m. feeling stupid and regretful and hungover. But anyway, they suggested I bring my show over to TikTok. Thought my content might be of value to somebody on TikTok. And here I am just over 2 years later. My page grows a little bit every day. Honestly, it's growing faster on other social media platforms. I'm not sure why that is. I go live on TikTok every day. There's a lot of social interaction, people making comments, people I know are following me, and enjoy the interaction that is TikTok. But again, the growth's happening quicker for whatever reason on other social media platforms. And yeah, that's a very long introduction. A very long introduction. But, and I've got more to say. I could have kept going, but I didn't want to keep going just yet. What I wanted to do is tell you that for those that have been watching a while, hello, Fragrance, and hello, Vincent. You know, this isn't just a show about me talking about my struggles and overcoming my troubles and tripping and falling and getting back up and feeling good or feeling bad or feeling anxious or feeling up or feeling down or feeling sideways. For those that have been watching a while, ooh, I love when that happens. I have this thermos, which you can buy on the link to my bio, and it's about half filled with a nice fresh pot of coffee. And I am so excited to pour some into my cup and have a first sip. And my hope, as I often say, coffee's not just not just for breakfast anymore. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you guys have a hot cup of coffee in front of you. But don't worry if you're a tea drinker or don't drink coffee, or I don't know, even if I talk a lot about sobriety, if you got a cold beer in your hand or a cocktail or a glass of wine, we don't discriminate. Welcome aboard, and cheers to us. It's our third pot of the day here at the Tracy household. Oh yeah, I'll say it again, our third pot. It might even be our fourth if I count the one my stepson made at about 3 o'clock this morning. And I came down, as I do, at about 6:30 today, and my coffee maker had half a pot of coffee in it, and it was warm and the maker was off, and I quickly deduced that my stepson had been up and about at a very, very early, or you could also call it a very, very late hour, depending on your perspective. And so I dumped that out, and that could be officially the first pot, but I didn't consume any. I made a pot of caramel, our last grounds of caramel coffee by Starbucks. And I also followed that up with a pot of hazelnut. And right now I am drinking the Starbucks Yukon, which is a medium roast. It's my least exciting coffee in the rotation, but I thought after having a couple pots of flavored coffee, it'd be good to I don't know, enjoy some unflavored coffee. So I'm gonna have another sip. Hello Sherry, thank you. Hello Callie. Hello John C. Hello Shannon. Hello Stephen Taylor. Don't call me Steven Tyler. I'm sure Steven often gets confused with probably the 75-year-old Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. Perhaps he doesn't. But anyway, it's February 1st, and I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois. It is a town of about 145,000 people, or 150,000 people we'll call it, just west of Chicago, about 35 miles west. Normally in February, the temperature, typical high of February 1st might be, I don't know, 20, 25 degrees or something like that. But after a recent cold patch that we had a couple weeks back, we've had consistently warm and, well, I'm glad you did, Shannon. We've had consistently warm temperatures over the last couple of weeks, but they've been dark and dreary days. And I don't like to say that because I think I'm a pretty optimistic fellow by nature. But sometimes, the gray weather of late winter or even midwinter in this case can kind of bring you down a little bit. And when I opened the blinds this morning in our living room and we saw the sunrise in the field across from our house. It just looks so pretty. I checked the temperature, saw it was going to be about 50 degrees here today, and immediately kind of felt a little spring in my step and a little excitement. Give you a quick view of what we're looking at. This is my side yard. This is where I live. There's some things in the background. There's a slide here on our patio. There's a plant and some stuff that needs addressed, but in the winter, sometimes you address it, sometimes you don't. I am for those that don't know, a father of 4 biological children and 3 stepkids. And my 2 oldest girls live with their mother, my first wife, out in Oswego, which is about 10 miles west of here. But we still have a really crowded house. We were former realtors, my wife and I. I was a realtor for 17 years. I left the business about a year and a half ago, and she left it about 4 months ago. And honestly, it feels really good not to be selling real estate anymore. There was some decent times, but the day, if I was with customers more often, I think I would have enjoyed helping people buy and sell homes a little more. But the real estate business is much different than most people think. Most people probably think you're showing buyers every day. And if I was showing a different buyer every day, I would have sold, 2 houses a week and been one of the top realtors in my area. But the truth of the matter is, most of the time when you're in real estate, you're spending prospecting, sending out mailers, doing cold calls, maybe hosting open houses or knocking on doors or doing whatever you can do to drive in new business. And at the end of the day, when I realized that lead generation was probably 90% of the work that I did, I quickly, and when I say I quickly, it only took me 17 years. So I quickly decided to switch professions. Didn't know what I was going to switch to. Not even totally sure what I'm going to do when I grow up. But I enjoy doing this. I enjoy talking to my phone, sharing some experiences, sharing a little bit about life, and telling my story. And again, I've been doing it for almost 5 years now. And I talk about things from mental health to substance abuse to addiction to gambling to relationships to real estate to the stock market, because I was a stockbroker for 10 years, to whatever the heck hops to my mind. And I have a lot of fun doing it. And I think I have an ability to tell a story that resonates with an audience. So thank you all for joining. I'm going to have a little more coffee as I hear a garbage truck rumbling my way. Oh. But again, it's a sunny day. It's a sunny Thursday. I mentioned my wife left the real estate business about 3 months ago now. She got an offer for a job that she was really excited about. I was a little going, hey, we got 2 little ones. We have a, I don't know, maybe a 14-month older and maybe a just over 2.5-year-old son as well. The younger one's daughter named Eve. I asked her, did she want to go back to work? If I was making $250,000 a year doing what I'm doing, would you still want to take this job? And without hesitation, she said yes. Made me feel good. And maybe made me accept the challenge that is going to be staying at home with 2 little beautiful babies and taking care of the house and handling the 3 stepkids when they get home from school, and just handling the chaos that it can be living in a home with 5 kids, a dog, and 2 cats. And I've been doing that for about 3 months. My wife, as I expected, is knocking the cover off the ball in her job, as I knew she would. Really is a perfect match. And I'm pursuing growing my content creation business. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We've been creeping towards 10,000 followers on TikTok for quite some time. But again, I seem to be growing a lot quicker on some other social media platforms. Love posting videos over there. I go live probably 4 or 5 times a week, maybe more, sometimes much more. And I edit all these videos and cut them into shorts and reels and TikToks. So, hello, Colonel Lingus. Hello, Linda. Hello, John Ganley. Hello, 16 Rotto, Larry Wilson, Steven, and Samantha Sparks, and Trish, and Ms. P. Ms. P. I wonder how many people go by Ms. these days. And how long has Ms., the abbreviation or whatever it's called at the beginning of the name, the MS period, been around? Was it something that was created in the 70s? I know it was really popular in the mid to late 70s. And that's cool, but I just saw somebody named Ms. P, and it got me wondering. I do a lot of wondering. I talk about having a fairly active mind. Again, there's been big periods of my life where I've struggled with anxiety and sometimes depression, and I think a lot, and I'm learning to deal with it in some healthy ways. At the beginning of the show, I talked about how I stopped drinking or smoking 2 years ago, and it feels good to be facing my thoughts and my mind and my anxieties and my fears and my worries and my wonderings with a sober mind. And so cheers to me. Coffee's getting a little tepid. Hello, Barbara and Big Bob McGee and Yaya. I'm going to pour myself a little more coffee. You guys, please hang with me and pour yourself some more coffee as well. Again, I have a lot of fun going live. I talk about anything. The audience is a little light today, but that's okay. I love you guys just the same. I was going live every day. RJ, welcome aboard. It is a gorgeous spring day, although it's not even spring. But I was going live every day at about 8 o'clock until maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I was building up a nice audience. People knew when they could expect me, and now they'll hop on and go, hey, I haven't seen you live in forever, when do you go live? And honestly, I go live usually about 15, 20 minutes after I lay my babies down to sleep. And they usually go to sleep sometime between 11:30 and 12. Again, I have we'll just call it a 1-year-old named Eve. She's beautiful. And a 2.5-year-old son who's my little nugget of love named Augie. I put him down to sleep maybe 20 minutes ago. Took care of some cleaning. I'm a little OCD. And let me tell you, being OCD with 5 kids can be challenging. I blame it on the 2 babies, but the older ones are just as messy, if not more. And so when I have some time and I'm not going live, I like to at least get the process of my house cleaning going. And I'm running the dishwasher. Oftentimes I'll be running the washer or the dryer while I'm doing it in a perfect world, because I like having the machines that God gave us working for me while I'm doing other things. But instead of that, I really don't like dirty bathrooms. And the powder room, this is way more information than you guys want to know, wasn't nearly up to my standards this morning. And I was looking at it, and before honestly, while the kids were eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I gave them for lunch, I ran to the garage, grabbed some bleach, poured the bleach in the toilet, and gonna share the chemicals throughout that bathroom and letting it sanitize it so it'll be up to my standards. Shannon asks, how's my dad doing at the gym? Shannon, that's a great question. My dad asked me if I've been working out on Thanksgiving when he was over for Thanksgiving. And he told me he's been going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week. He is going to be 84 years old at the end of this year, in December of this year. He, like everyone else in our family, just about, are former runners. He is a marathoner, has done, I don't know, probably 10 marathons at least in his life, maybe 10, something like that. And, but at 84, I don't know. I'm 55. I don't run anymore. I got a bad knee. But he's put his running shoes away. But he was going to the gym, and he told me that. And honestly, I've been scared to ask him for a follow-up just because I don't want to be disappointed if he's not still working out. I've been working out for about 5.5 months now, feeling really good. I joined a Planet Fitness last August and been working out about 3 times a week and feeling really, really, really good. And again, surprisingly strong for my very, very advanced age. So let's have a little more coffee. Oh, hello, Shelley Butler. Thank you for joining. Hello, Jarvis. And hello, y'all. I don't know how much I have for you. I mean, I always have things I could talk about. I had thoughts today. I started talking about real estate. And I have a search set up for homes in my town and homes in a few other towns. And I don't know what my point's going to be about this at all. I maybe won't have a point, but I'll just reflect. I sent my wife the listing that popped up on, I have a search set up on Redfin, and sent her the listing. She goes, ooh, and it's beautiful and a style she and I like, and looks great on the inside, and is hardwood throughout, and white cabinets, and I don't know, just look perfect. But as you probably know, if you're looking for homes anywhere around the country, I think home prices are pretty high right now. And again, I was a realtor for 17 years. This is a home that probably would have been priced maybe $410,000, $420,000 a year and a half ago when I left the business, and now is asking $589,000. And I won't be surprised if they get it. It's in a great school district. Again, it looks, ready to sell. Look really beautiful in the pictures. But at $589,000 at today's mortgage rate, and I'll just talk the market for a little bit, the estimated payments, at least from Redfin, were like $4,100 a month. And I don't know. Life's expensive. Housing is expensive. Food is expensive. with 5 kids, I go to the grocery store almost every day. I mean, might not be every day. And it's not for all sorts of groceries, but we run out of something, I don't know, at least every other day. And I don't know, just walking through the aisles and looking at cereal, and I don't know, even looking at a bag of bagels or a bag of coffee or what have you. Things are expensive. And again, a $600,000 house, and this house honestly wouldn't even be big enough for us. We would have had to have done some reconfiguring, finished out a basement, and maybe got a bedroom in there for one of our kids, because as it is, it wasn't big enough for us. And honestly, we can't afford it either. When you can't afford it and it's not even big enough, it's a double whammy. Hello, Jimmy. RJ's asking if I ever shop at the Naperville Walmart. I'm not a huge shopper at Walmart. There's none very close to where I live. I live on the south side of town. I guess there is one off, 5 miles from here. But it's certainly not the closest store for me. And honestly, I've never thought Walmart was my favorite store. I used to work at Super Target last year. After I left the real estate business, I had a lot of bills. I still have a lot of bills, but I had a lot of bills and didn't know what I wanted to do, or didn't know what my next step should be, and took a very entry-level job working at a Super Target in town, and did that for 7 months of last year. I think 7 months, it was an entry-level job, and I went to University of Illinois. I graduated in 1990. I've got some friends that are doing really, really well in a whole bunch of industries. And I remember, I don't know, last summer or fall, talking to my buddy, going, "Hey, buddy." His name's not Buddy, but just for the sake of anonymity, I'll call him Buddy. "Hey, buddy." His name was Dirk. I guess I could say it. "Hey, Dirk, are you surprised that I'm still working at Super Target? Are you disappointed? Or are you impressed about my longevity?" And he couldn't come up with a straight answer. He knew what I was making. He knows I have expenses, and he knew I couldn't possibly be covering my expenses with the pay of an entry-level job at a Super Target. But for a while, when I first took that job, I was so excited. It was my first job I'd ever done, where I punch in and get a wage and work, and I go home and I forget about the job till the next morning. I've always been in sales jobs or entrepreneurial type jobs where I was kind of running my own business, or at least, I don't know, living on commission. Even when I waited tables for a few times in my life, it felt like the more you hustled there, the more money you made. And I didn't feel like that at all at Target. I thought about trying to move up the ladder, but I was hired where I was hired, and I think it would have been a very long process moving up the corporate ladder. I think if you I think for my situation, if I would have started right out of college and taken an internship, I could have gotten placed in the corporate, I don't know, scheme somewhere, and it would have been a lot easier moving up. But moving up from the cereal aisle would have taken some time. And after 7 months of working there, they probably had enough with me. And I don't know, I'd had enough stock in cereal. RJ wants to know how my current routine is going. It's going well. For a while it was tough. For a while it was a little tough for me. Just getting used to the schedule and used to the my wife being gone till later on, and I don't know, being just responsible for all 5 kids. Like during Christmas break, that was tough. Having 5 kids all needing different things at once, and was tough for me. But I'm starting to get into a rhythm and starting to feel good about what I'm doing. And again, I'm growing on various social media platforms and tracking what's the hottest thing they need? Tracking my progress and feeling really good about the direction I'm going. And knowing, although it can be tough, watching 2 little ones, knowing that when I look back on life, uh, that I'm going to miss these days when my babies were babies. And my beautiful little Eve isn't going to be a 1 year old uh, forever. And Augie's, you know, he's going to be going off to school in a few months, to preschool. And yeah, it's going to be weird. What was the oddest thing they need? I don't know. I don't know what the oddest thing they need is. I don't know. They're kids. Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Gonna pour myself some more. Don't know how long I'm gonna talk to you. You guys are discussing if I quit or was fired, Target. It's so funny. And Jimmy said I resigned. I don't know. Do you resign? What's the difference between I like the term resigning. It sounds less quitting. I woke up and going for coffee. What food product goes fastest in my house? Almond milk. Almond milk. My babies drink almond milk. We like giving them almond milk. So if milk comes out of their bottles, because sometimes I don't know, you tip over a bottle. I don't know how many of you have babies out there, but you tip over a bottle, a little stream squirts out, and if it's regular milk, uh, you know, it goes bad, and maybe it'll smell or be yucky or what have you. And they both drink it, and my oldest stepson, I don't know, drinks it as well. I won't go into the reasons, but he watches too many documentaries on YouTube and doesn't like milk. So drinks almond milk. And no, you can't buy it by the gallon. Maybe you can somewhere. The biggest container I see is 96 ounces. There's a half-gallon container that usually runs about $3.50. And uh, the 96 ouncer runs, I don't know, $5 or $6. So it's more expensive, and we go through a lot, and it'd be much easier. Yeah, well, it's almond milk. It's almond milk, so it's flavored like almond. It'd be much easier if we all drank 2% or 1% milk. It'd be much cheaper as well. But when we run out of almond milk, it's key to get my kids to sleep at night and in the morning. And so when it's out, I'm most concerned. I'm most concerned. Um, the other day, I ran out for almond milk and some bread. My daughter Eve eats almost anything. Eats almost anything. And my son Augie used to do this. My son Augie, he's 2.5. He has Down syndrome for anybody uh, that cares. Uh, and it's interesting. It's interesting. You have different experiences with a child with Down syndrome. At least I do. Again, he's one of four of my own biological children, and he's my little nugget of love. And when he was younger, he wasn't very particular. But now, I'll tell you what, if he decided to stop eating peanut butter and jelly or cereal, we'd be in trouble because I'll give him anything. He'll eat a bite of banana. He might eat a little Pop Tart, of course, or anything sweet. But as far as like meal stuff, uh, right now he's pretty much a peanut butter and jelly and a cereal man. Occasionally grilled cheese or what have you, but even that ends up on the floor more often than not. Fortunately, we have a dog named Holly, and she does a lot of the cleanup for us. Yeah, Shannon, he definitely is showing his own little personality. It's cute. Again, he's 2.5, and he's got Down syndrome, so he's developing a little slower than a typical 2.5-year-old. But over progressively, we're seeing more and more communication, and it's neat interacting with him. And he'll shake his head no, and I can tell he goes, "Okay, Dad doesn't know what I'm saying. We're going to work together and figure it out." I don't know if he's thinking all of that, but I'm feeling that happen, and it's really neat. And his little sister's his best buddy, but also, uh, I don't know, they're siblings, and uh, yeah, they're siblings, and he likes tackling her, and they're almost the same size, which is fortunate, and almost the same level of coordination. He's a little ahead of her that way, a little bigger and a little faster, but not by too much. But he is fast enough to catch up to her from time to time and take her down. And sometimes she laughs, and sometimes she doesn't think it's so funny. And RJ wants to know who is louder. If they're in bed, she is. She is. She's definitely louder. He usually, when he wakes up from a nap or in the morning, or he kind of talks, and he'll talk progressively louder and louder till one of us gets him. But if she's got a issue, she lets us know. She's got a poopy diaper, she'll let us know. If she's woken up from a nap, she'll definitely let us know. Yesterday, we watched Frozen. Augie's more of a Sesame Street man. Eve's more of a Frozen woman. It's interesting. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why, but Frozen jumps out at her. And at just like she's 15 months old now. I don't know how she, I don't know, even can watch TV and know that these people are people on TV. And yeah, she's moving her arms and putting her head back and going, "Ah, ah, ah, ah," singing Let It Go along with Elsa and being a little bit theatrical. It's really quite amazing. You can feel her emoting. Did I did I say emoting? That could be the word of the day, emoting. Showing emotion. Emoting. emoting. That's the word of the day. Showing emotion, I think. I don't know. I don't post too many word of the day videos these days. Oftentimes, I don't have a proper definition when I summarize it for you guys, but I always look it up on Webster's dictionary. That's funny. That's me looking up something on the dictionary. Jimmy asked a great question. What are my current goals on the progression in social media? I was talking with my wife about it today. First of all, I told her I wanted to hit 10,000 subscribers on TikTok, and I want to hit 100,000 on YouTube. I'm at about 9,500 on TikTok, and I'm at about 2,500 on YouTube. So I got a lot of work to do on YouTube, but I think that'd be really neat. And I think that'd be awesome. They send out a silver plaque and say, hey, you got 100,000 subscribers. And again, I'm a long way from it, but it's growing quickly. And I'm having a lot of fun over there and here as well. And more near term, I had a fairly okay month in January, reversing a kind of downtrend in revenue I'd had over the last few months. Again, I think me transitioning my schedule and not going live at 8 o'clock every morning and spending a lot of time watching the kids every day has kind of threw off my schedule for a little bit. In October, I was going live regularly, and my watch hours and my viewers and all the metrics you might follow were at a high, and for a couple months they dipped. But January kind of turned it around and had some growth, and I would like to double that growth in February, and I don't even know if that's possible. Have twice the revenue and twice the viewership in February as I did over January. But it seems the videos I am posting right now are getting a whole lot of viewership, and yeah, and feels good. Have I any idea what the have I thought about promoting a video? Not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. You know, might be smart. I used to spend a fair amount when I was a realtor on Facebook ads. And yeah, not really. I don't know. I'm hoping, kind of hope if you build it, it will come. And if you put out content that any a viewer thinks is valuable, I don't know, they'll find it. So let's have a little more coffee. But anyway, I don't know what I have for you. I appreciate your thoughts, RJ, and I do appreciate everybody watching today. If there's anybody new out there, please uh, subscribe. Ryan Marks is asking where you been. Again, that's what a lot of people say. I go live almost every day. On some days it'll be about this time. It'll be my thoughts from the gym live video. It's usually about 10 or 15 minutes where I talk right after a workout. Oftentimes, and I was calling this stay at home with Ken for a while. It's right after I put my babies to bed. Shannon, thanks for hopping on. Right after I put my babies down for their nap. I go live, but for the longest time, I was going live at 8 o'clock every morning, and it made it easy to be found and easy to build up an audience of regulars. Excuse me, it was kind of fun. Um, but again, life sometimes, you know, I think things happen for a reason. I think things happen for a reason, and life happens. And rather than, I don't know, throw a fit or be bummed about it, I'm just doing the best I can. And the best I can is going live after a workout on Monday, Tuesday, or Friday. And the best I can is going live at about noon, somewhere between 11 o'clock and noon on what other days? Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so I'm going to keep doing the best I can. And thank you, Raul. I'm going to keep doing the best I can and putting as much content out there and sharing a little bit about life and enjoying this sunshiny day, February 1st, and enjoying the 2.5, maybe 3 hours if I'm lucky I get when my babies are napping like they are right now, and enjoying my coffee and looking forward to when the baby's waking up, putting them in our double stroller and taking our dog Holly for a walk. We haven't been able to get outside and uh, be with the land of the living in a while. So just taking the kids for a walk sounds super nice to me. And I'm looking forward to doing it. RJ wants to know what the coffee is. RJ, it's the Yukon blend, which is a medium roast Starbucks coffee. And I would say it's probably the least interesting coffee that I drink. Brian Hudek, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Brian. Just like the line, Brian. I don't know, over 2 years ago, I think was watching some of my videos on a different social media platform and was singing the praises about uh, TikTok and saying I should put my videos there. And I've kind of watched his little journey from afar. And he's an avid bicyclist, and he posts videos of him biking no matter what the weather is along the Fox River, which is here in northern Illinois. And I appreciate you hopping on today, Brian, and I appreciate you. So, a little more coffee. Uh, But anyway, I'm feeling good. I could easily talk about, um, I hate to say the word diet, and I've over talked about it in some videos, but about 2.5 weeks ago, I'm about 10, or I was about 10 or 12 pounds heavier than I wanted to be when I joined the gym. And one of my goals was to drop down from 220 ish, where I was, to about 205. And I was working out regularly for 5 months, and I was getting stronger, but I wasn't losing any weight, and that didn't really surprise me because I knew what I was eating, and I knew the temptation that is ho-hos or ice cream or what have you, and I knew my tendency to go overboard and binge when I was onto something delicious and something sweet. And about 2.5 weeks ago, while sitting at a Starbucks, I realized I was feeling a little bit of hunger pains, and my first instinct was to go uh, fill the void and go eat something and satisfy that hunger. And I go, hey, maybe if I don't, I'll burn, a little bit of the 10 pounds of fat I have around my tummy. And I didn't. And I have changed my eating habits. And I don't want to call it a diet because I eat whatever I want and as much as I want, but I only do it a couple times a day. What it came out to be, my original idea was instead of counting calories or bowls of ice cream or ho-hos I'm eating, because I never did a good job of that. All I knew is I when I counted it, it added up to a lot. And if what I'm doing adds up to a lot, I should count the number of hours I spend uh, feeling the sensation that is hunger, and that's my focus now. And I end up feeling hungry for about 4 or 5 hours a day. And when I eat big. I eat whatever I want. I don't care if it's got calories. I don't care how much I eat, and I gorge and I enjoy the heck out of it. It feels so good. And I'm telling you, and it sits in my tummy for a couple, 3 hours. I'm feeling full, even going, oh my gosh, my belly's full. A couple hours after that, I just kind of feel normal. And a couple of hours after that, I start feeling hungry again. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking to lose weight, the only way to lose weight is feel hungry from time to time. The only way to lose weight is to feel hungry from time to time. I don't care how many calories you count or if you're eating carbs or proteins or what have you. I am convinced the only way to lose weight is feel some hunger from time to time. Doesn't matter if it's some fancy dietary company selling you a box of delicious food. You're still going to need to feel hunger from time to time if you want to lose weight. And what I've done over the last 2.5 weeks is gotten friendly and learned to appreciate that when I feel a little bit of hunger, and I'm not talking about starving myself or being cruel to myself, but I'm learning to appreciate the sensation that is hunger. I've lost about 5 pounds in 2.5 weeks. My concern, if I have one, about my new eating regimen is that I'm going to go overboard and lose too much weight, and I'm going to have to add some calories back in. But I weigh myself a few times a week, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. And I am excited to see, to get down to 205. I think I'll be there in about 2 weeks. And probably have to add some calories back in, maybe a bowl of cereal in the morning or maybe a late night snack or something. But I'm going to tinker with it. And I'm hoping this is a lifestyle. I think it's probably healthy. I think you're more aware without a full tummy. Your brain works clearer, your senses are more in touch, and you're ready to go. And I said it before, I know when I eat a huge meal, I want to nap on the couch. And you're not ready to go when you're napping on the couch. Cloud Layer Network says, hey, look, Bruce Willis is talking. Well, I love Bruce Willis. I mean, love might be overstating it, but I'm a fan. And I saw, what was a movie that came out in 1994 with him and Samuel L. Jackson? Quentin Tarantino movie. Pulp Fiction. I saw Pulp Fiction the other day. And yeah, it was a great movie, and he did a great job in that movie. Hello, Dana Carson Williams and Booney Pickering. And yeah, what a glorious day. What a glorious day. Um, so I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. I so appreciate you guys for joining today. And Max is saying it must be warm there. Yeah, Max, it is about 50 degrees. And I'm sitting here in a little on our patio, and there's no wind today, and it's 50 degrees. I popped on my sweatshirt, and it just feels so good to be out and getting a little sunshine and enjoying a cup of coffee with you all on a Thursday afternoon. And I want to thank you all for joining. If anybody new out there, please follow my page or subscribe to my page. I appreciate you guys for joining. I go live, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times a week, probably on average. I have a lot of fun with it. I talk about any topic that comes to my mind. And hopefully you find some value, you find it entertaining or uh, uh, inspirational or motivational or silly or stupid. But I hope you enjoy watching my show because I enjoy putting them on. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. Hope wherever you are, the sun is shining on you. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.